SU dominates in a 55-10 win over Roosevelt in a game that truly was over after the first quarter. SVSU got out to an absolutely dominant start offensively. It started with Nick Patterson having 2 touchdown runs. You have Michael Jameson the third and adding a third touchdown run to truly end the first quarter. And after that, like SVSU just offensively just could do whatever they truly wanted. Ended up putting up 55 points. A lot of it was actually on the ground. Some of it was through the air. Mason McKenzie did have a pretty good game, 13 for 18, very efficient throwing the ball, 186 yards, 2 touchdowns. Didn't have to do obviously a ton through the air, especially when you were able to get so much production on the ground. You're able to get Terrence Brown Jr. He had 3 attempts running the ball. Obviously, I've talked a little bit about him kind of being a guy that's more catching the ball out of the backfield. But whenever he touches the ball, we have seen him make play after play after play. 3 attempts, 69 yards rushing. He also had 3 catches for 62 yards. Like, he had the ball 6 times, and he had over 130 yards of offense by himself. He's a guy that when he has the opportunity to get it, he's a guy that's truly going to be someone that can make a difference in a game, someone that you have to be worried about having a big play. And he's a guy that I think this SVSU offense continues to need to be involved in their game plan. Obviously, not only him, but Michael Jameson the third, 2 touchdown runs, 58 yards on the ground. Eric Kraft was involved a little bit, had a 1 touchdown. Braden Hill had another touchdown catching. Michael Jameson the third did have 2 receptions on the day, but truly was this offense just doing whatever they truly wanted to do. 186 yards through the air, like I mentioned, but 374 yards on the ground. When you do that, you are so efficient and causes issues for the other team. I did talk about kind of this matchup of how I thought that SVSU would be able to run, how I thought they would be able to be efficient against this Roosevelt team. And they definitely were that in itself. I thought they were able to obviously have a pretty productive, efficient offensive performance. But they not only had that, but my main concern going into this game, if there was one, was going to be this defense. That truly has been kind of the weakness of SVSU so far this season that they've had. In this game, they did not have any sacks, but what they did was force turnovers. They had 1 interception in this game, which obviously was thrown by Zach Zella, 178 yards, no touchdowns, but did have 1 interception on the game. So obviously you'd love to see that, especially when you have a defense that has struggled defensively throughout the year. But that interception was by James McDonald. Great defensive play. He was the leading tackler for this SVSU defense, tied with Jaden Beaver. He's just had a great game in this one. You absolutely love seeing a linebacker get an interception in a game, but not only did they force that interception, they did force 4 fumbles. Now, they did only recover 1 in this game, but when you can get your hands on the ball and you can get an opportunity to get the ball back to your offense, you're going to be able to win a lot of these games. And that's exactly what this SVSU team has done the last couple of games, is they've done enough defensively, they've done enough offensively to get it to the weapons, to get a little bit of confidence. And that's going to be extremely key, especially coming off of a start to the season that they did not necessarily want to have. They were able to get wins going into GVSU next week. That is going to be an absolutely huge matchup next week, but you have a ton of momentum going in there. You have a ton of confidence. You have a guy in Mason McKenzie that's getting a little bit of confidence back. You have a guy in Michael Jameson III getting involved, making big plays. You have the defense flying around, forcing turnovers. This is the type of team that I think SVSU thought they were going to be. And it might have took them a little bit longer to get to that point, especially defensively. But when this team protects the ball, when you have guys that you can get the ball to, this is going to be a type of offense that's going to be able to put up points. And I think this is a type of team that going into this next couple of games can truly build off of this momentum, build off of this game. Now, do I think Roosevelt is the greatest team that this SVSU team has played? No, they're 1-4 for a reason. 0-2 in conference play. Like, this Roosevelt team isn't very good, only had 273 yards of offense. Cam Davis had 64 yards on the ground. Jack Young Jr. only 41 yards catching. Like, this isn't the most elite offense that this SVSU team has handled. I believe I said they only average about 15 points a game. You held them to 10, so you held them under your average. If you can continue to do that, then I think this is going to be an SVSU team that is going to make noise going forward. But you absolutely love to see it. You love to see this SVSU team thrive a little bit, especially after I know they had a disappointing start to the year. So obviously extremely happy for them, extremely happy to see them dominate, have a ton of guys play, have a ton of guys get involved. That's exactly what you want when you have an opportunity to start 2-0 in conference play. And that's exactly where SVSU is right now. You want to be able to compete in the GLIAC. You want to be able to win the games that you should win. And that's exactly what SVSU is doing right now. And I'm extremely happy for them. I'm extremely happy for Coach Brady. Obviously, I did mention not the greatest team, but you're handling business. And that's the truly most important part is when you need to win these games, you do it. And unfortunately, I don't think that they were doing that at the beginning of the year, but they're starting to do that now. They're figuring things out. Defense is flying around. Defense is forcing mistakes. Offenses being able to be productive, put up points, get it to their playmakers. This is the SVSU team that I thought we were going to see this year. And I think they're starting to kind of come into its own a little bit. So absolutely really happy for them. It's a team that has weapons. It's a team that can be very fun. It's a team that can go into anywhere and win. I think you're starting to see these guys buy in. I think you're going to continue to see that going forward because I think this SVSU team is too good for what the record is. I think next week is going to be a truly interesting matchup. I'll obviously talk about next week's matchup when I preview it in the next couple of days, but great win for SVSU. Love to see that. Super happy for them. Super happy for obviously Coach Brady, someone that joined the podcast. Great coach, great guy. So happy for them. So yeah, that's really kind of the preview for this episode. Not a ton to talk about when you win by 45 points, but handling business when you need to in a dominant fashion. You absolutely love to see that. So yeah, if you enjoyed this recap, definitely make sure to leave a like, subscribe, comment. More SVSU stuff is going to come out here shortly. Love talking about this team. I think next week is going to be really, really interesting, really, really fun. But thank you for tuning in. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment, and tune in to next week when I talk a little bit more about SVSU, especially when they go up against GVSU.